my name is Maria Zalumis, also known as the ZedFarmer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, we will discuss farming. We'll discuss the pros and cons of growing certain crops, but at the same time, you will get my personal side and my feelings and my thoughts in full about the farming, the everyday challenges, the everyday wins, the everyday losses. So come and join me on this journey as we discuss an introduction to farming. So this particular episode talks about what is farming? Why am I in farming, especially here in Zambia? I lived in Australia for 12 years and I've come back to Zambia starting from 2016, not to farm, but because I came back to help look after my dad. But in the point of being jobless, it left me just being very, very unsatisfied with the situation that I was in. I was a nurse in Australia, and every hospital that I went to in Zambia, I was told that I was overqualified just to work as a normal nurse. I found myself without employment. And one particular day, my mom said to me, Maria, go and see what is on the farm. See if you can farm. In the beginning, I laughed. I said, who wants to get dark? Who wants to have dark arms? Like the arms I have now. But on the first day when I got on the farm, I found a tomato garden. And I remember everywhere else there was bush. It wasn't like the way it is now. And the tomato garden had yielded about 12,000 kwacha, which is equivalent, at that time, it was equivalent to $1,200. And I said, well, maybe this could be the answer for my joblessness. At the same time, I looked at the love I have for less privileged people. I'm the type of person who loves to help. I can run even 5-6 charities at one go. That's the type of person I am. So I decided to just take on this farming full throttle and just do it. And 4 years later, here I am. I have 3 farms. I have Tuzini 1, 2, and 3. I am a cattle rancher. I am a tomato producer. I'm an onion producer. And I'm also a groundnut producer. So on every single farm, there's production going on. Tuzini 1 is 18 hectares big. Right now, we have about 10 hectares of tomato in the ground. We are planning for 8 hectares of onion on Tuzini 1. Tuzini 2 is 174 hectares, and we have 63 Brahman beef cattle on that farm. The reason why we decided to cattle ranch on that farm is because half of the land is not good for crop production. It's very, very sandy. The soils need a lot of building. So we decided to introduce cattle on that farm as a second line of business. Then on the third farm, we have tomato production right now. Unfortunately, right now we have 5 hectares which went underwater due to the climate change and lots of rain. But we are planning for another 10 hectares very shortly in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're land prepping at the moment. Now, how did I get to that stage of being a commercial farmer? At the same time, I also grow seedlings on a large scale. We have 3 greenhouses on Tuzini 1, and I support smaller farmers to grow. So we provide the seedlings, we provide the chemicals, we have a chemical line, and then we give you the know-how and we hold your hand through the growing process until harvest. And we've successfully done this not only here in Zambia, but all over the world by doing online training. So it's been quite a journey. But let me tell you from the personal side how I came to farming. First of all, I went through a very hard divorce. I love the father of my child. He's very loving towards his daughter, but things couldn't work between us. And I lost my child in that process. My second child, I was pregnant with my second child and I lost my child. And it was very, very hard to deal with the loss of my child and then me being divorced. And out of that pain came entrepreneurship. It came that urge to farm and that urge to just grow big, because all I wanted to do at that stage was pour all my energies into farming, which was amazing. It did me a lot of healing, a lot of good. And then I decided to just fall in love again, and still it didn't work. What lessons am I trying to teach you from all this? I have been divorced twice and I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. You require 100% support or no support at all. What do I mean by that from a partner? What I mean is that if you are married or if you're with someone and you decide to farm, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you're a man, you need your wife to support you 100%. You need your wife to be able to bath the kids whilst you're in the farm. You need your wife to be able to cook your meal whilst you're in the farm. You need your wife to do those things. If you're a woman and you're in farming, you need your husband to take interest in what you do. The environment that you thrive in is very, very, very important for your growth and even for your farming growth. You cannot grow in an environment which is toxic and negative. Not even your plants or your crops or your animals will grow, because at that stage, you're not really focused on getting the job done. You are focused on what is happening at home. And I can testify this from my second marriage and my second divorce, where I had somebody he was supportive, yes, but because we were toxic to each other, the negative feelings and the negative vibes started affecting me. And finally, I had to leave. And trust me, ever since I left, I have thrived so well because of the environment that I'm in. I'm in a peaceful environment. I can focus and really just focus on what needs to be done. But in all this, my pocket never suffers. You need to choose one thing when you're farming. When you're farming, you must know that your pocket will never suffer. You're not stealing from anyone. You're not crooking anyone, but you're feeding people. There is a huge, huge blessing in feeding people. That's number one. And two, we create employment for over 106 people across the 3 farms. People who haven't been to school, who haven't had a chance to thrive. I find them thriving in our environment. So I teach my workers a lot about thriving, about being an entrepreneur, about consciousness, and about awareness. Always remember that if you're a human being and you've got a talent for farming or any other talent or any other gift, it's very, very important to thrive in your gift. And the only way you can thrive is to ask God to give you innovative and creative ideas. The way to create wealth is to embrace or harness extraordinary solutions that you can provide to man. When I say man, I mean the whole world. What extraordinary solutions can you provide as an entrepreneur or a business person to solve people's problems very urgently and very quickly? Let me give you another example. I solve farmers' problems by providing seedlings, by producing a good quality hardened seedlings. I also provide marketeer solutions by ensuring that when a marketeer comes here, if they buy an amount of boxes of tomatoes, I transport the tomato for them. So I'm not only solving their need for their produce, I'm solving their logistic need for transport. So those are some of the extraordinary solutions that you need to go by. Also, in your entrepreneurship business or whatever entrepreneurship you're doing, you need to play your business like chess. You need to make sure that you brand properly. You need to make sure that you are visible on all the social media sites. Then you need to ensure that you play your business like chess. It's very important to play business like chess. Always work on your competitors' faults. Be on time. Deliver quality results. That is the only way, because people have options everywhere. It's the same thing with the tomato business. I deliver a good, big beef quality tomato that shines on the market. That's what I need you to start focusing on. Now, how do we get to that point of focus? It's very important for you to envision in your mind what it is that you want to achieve. And envisioning in your mind takes you to the meditation phase, which I will talk about in my next episode. But I need you to start envisioning what it is that you want to achieve in the next 1 year. The minute you start envisioning and the minute you start focusing your mind on that, remember the Bible says that whatever a man thinks, so is he. It's very important just to keep on thinking and thinking and thinking about that. Once you do that and you commit your plans to God, everything else unravels as long as you're working towards it. So the next episode, we will talk about consciousness, awareness, and meditation, and how God works through you and how much power you have. Because even speaking, you have power. So I want to leave you with homework today. You need to envision what you want to become, who you want to become, what it takes, and also where you see yourself 5 years from now. From the ZedFarmer, it's a very good afternoon or good morning or good evening from wherever you are. I will see you in the next episode.